working in groups. I mean, nowadays I just usually work on my own. Before, when I would work in groups, things would go okay at the beginning, and I would have a really good time until I realized just how much I hated everyone there. And I ripped a girl's tooth out. In my defense, she had big teeth anyway, so they were going to pull them one day. But one day, I was just sitting at home, watching E! News, minding my own business, when a story comes on about how One Direction just sold out their most recent tour. So I called E! News, and I asked them which direction was going on tour, and they hung up on me. So I went onto the internet, and I went onto the Google, and I typed in this One Direction, and I found out they're not a direction at all. They're a group of boys who were put in a band to sing. And they're cute. And they're rich. And they're British. So I started looking at more information about these bands of boys, subsequently called boy bands, and I found out that by working in groups, they've become so successful. Which is why today, I'm here to talk to you guys about how NSYNC, the Jonas Brothers, and One Direction have turned their lovely voices and big hair into a money-making scheme. Now to start off, we're going to revisit the ancient boy bands from the olden times called the 1990s. The first band in particular that I'll talk about is NSYNC. Now NSYNC is a great example of the dynamics of a boy band. You take 5 people who barely know each other, force them to sign a contract, and tell them to pose for awkward pictures and smile. NSYNC was composed of Justin Timberlake, Lance Bass, J.C. Chasez, Joey Fatone, and Chris Kirkpatrick. But for 1990s girls, these guys were their everything. Their tight printed pants, spiked dyed 90s hair, and Justin's cool shades just screamed sex. If you didn't grow up with Joey Fatone's signature, "I'm not really a douche, I just look like one" facial hair, you missed out. Now, NSYNC, they were golden, with hits like Bye 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 that showed just how deep and lyrical their inner poetry was. The line, "I'm checking out, I'm signing off, don't want to be the loser and I've had enough," shows me that when things get tough in relationships, you can just rap it out and you'll feel better. No, really, try it. Unfortunately, NSYNC called it quits in 2005, and Justin Timberlake took Sexy with him until he gave it back to the people in 2006 through interpretive song and dance. Joey Fatone now has his own show on the Cooking Channel because when you're the fat one in the boy band, there's really only so much you can do. J.C. Chasez became a judge on Randy Jackson's dancing show and was horrendously mean to most of the group because of his own inner resentment at the breakup of NSYNC. Lance Bass came out of the closet, and that's the only thing Lance Bass has done since the split. And I don't know what the other ones went up to because, to be honest, I don't remember his name. But despite the fact that they no longer exist, NSYNC paved the way for a new type of boy band, one that enforced awkward posed pictures and spiked dyed 90s hair. Now, NSYNC was the first type of boy band, the let's stick strangers together type. But the second type of boy band hit much closer to home. They were 3 brothers. The Jonas Brothers, or the Jo Bros, as the hip teens like to call them, were formed in 2006 with the hope that they would become Disney Channel megastars. This was an instant success. Girls flocked to them for their guitar riffs and their Disney Channel television shows, and soccer moms loved them for their Christian values and purity rings. Yes, it's true, the boys wore rings symbolizing abstaining themselves until marriage, but everyone knows that was just a mindless trick and to force the general population of America to fall in love with them using a form of systemized mind control developed by the Disney Corporation in order to earn more money. Which is why they're wearing such nice clothes! Now, the Jonas Brothers, they were featured in the movie Camp Rock, they had their own television shows, and they went on tour to the likes of thousands of willing teenage girls. Boy, it's a good thing they're wearing those purity rings. And now they've taken a short break, now they're back in the studio, purity rings off and new sound on. Because they couldn't really break up even if they wanted to, because they're brothers, and one day when Nick Jonas needs a kidney or something, someone's going to have to give it to him. Now, NSYNC was good, and the Jonas Brothers were really good. But there's a new world power arising. Young, talented, and British, One Direction is capturing the hearts of lonely teenage girls who don't like Justin Bieber and gay boys everywhere. One Direction was formed on the show that Simon Cowell left American Idol for. The members are composed of British boys Harry Styles, Liam Payne, Louis Tomlinson, and Zayn Malik, along with Irish leprechaun Niall Horan. Simon put the boys in a group, gave the Irish one braces, and instantly found success with them. Their first music video for their hit single, What Makes You Beautiful, involves them running around on the beach and splashing in the water, and somehow it's one of the most watched music videos on YouTube. After hearing WMYB, people everywhere stopped and asked themselves, do I really smile at the ground? Now, One Direction, one of the best things about One Direction is the engineering of them, and the fact that their management can do whatever they want with their image to earn more money and to appeal to different fan bases. You see, the boys are portrayed as a group of fun-loving, girl-respecting lads who just want to cuddle with a girl and tell her she's beautiful. And they put up with this image quite well, but it's obviously not true. Zayn is the one that all the girls adore, but I mean, come on, if you just look at him, you can tell he's always stoned. Now Niall don't really care. And Harry and Louis, I mean, oh my god, they're so gay for each other, the whole damn world knows it. It's like an open secret, just like the fact that we've accepted the fact that we're slowly killing the environment. The only one who fits his image is Liam, the big puppy of the group. He literally apologizes on Twitter after he's been hurt in a mob of fans. I never knew such contrasting personalities could make so much money, but with One Direction, they definitely proved me wrong. You know, the more I think about it, group work isn't so bad after all. I mean, gosh, if I was as attractive, rich as Justin Timberlake, Joe Jonas, or Harry Styles, I could actually stop hating everyone for once. And when you stop hating people, you gain outer beauty, which everyone knows is money. So therefore, I am here today to tell you that group work can provide successes that you couldn't normally achieve on your own. I mean, theoretically, you could become famous on your own, but it would be kind of awkward singing to yourself on stage instead of singing with a group of attractive young men. This is exactly why Justin Bieber is so unpopular, because she works by herself. Let's raise our glass tonight in honor of group work and the success it can bring. And you know, the more I think about it, I'm not so bad at group work after all. That girl whose tooth I ripped out, she had to go to the emergency room, and a group of dentists worked to give her normal new teeth. We worked together to make her not ugly. Because when you work together to systematically harass people, you can achieve so much. Which is why I'm back in school, working in groups, trying to see if any of the losers I have to deal with have the sweet, silky voice of Nick Jonas.